For this week, we have Anushka, who is a software engineer here at Ottawa. She's actually going to be graduating this year, so congrats on that, Anushka. And today she's going to come in and talk about what her experience has been like for her undergrad, what her plans are once she graduates, and how she's liked it at uOttawa. So let's get on with it. All right, Anushka, thank you for coming.
Of course.
Yeah, it's a
Thanks
great pleasure.
for having me.
Yeah. So just to get started, could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Okay.
So like your name, your program.
Okay.
What year you're in. Right?
Tricky question. That's
question.
a trick question.
Yeah. So what year you're in, and then maybe a fun fact about yourself.
Okay. So my name is Anushka Paliwal.
Mm-hmm.
What was the second thing?
It's a program.
I'm in software engineering, and I did it with the entrepreneurship option.
Okay.
And I'm in like my 4.5 year, I guess. I'm basically graduating this semester, so I'm done.
That's really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the last question was
Fun facts.
Fun fact.
Oh, that's okay. Tricky question again. I used to swim competitively. Yeah, for like years.
For the school here, or
not at the university level, but before. But like now with software engineering, like I can't. That was too much.
Okay. The second question I want to ask is, how did you get into software engineering? So, why did you, from high school after you graduated and you're applying for your university programs, how did you choose to do software engineering? What was your reasoning behind it?
Yeah, so I think I knew forever that I wanted to do engineering just because I had always been really good at math, and people always associate math with engineering right away. And then when I was in like grade 10, I took a programming course in high school. Actually, let me tell you, like I wanted to do engineering, but I didn't know which one. So I wanted to do aeronautical engineering, which it obviously did not work out because I don't have a love for physics. And then in grade 10, I took a course in high school, like a programming course. I learned Java, and I loved it. It was frustrating because, you know, when I was trying to like debug code, or like when things weren't going my way, I would get frustrated. But as soon as like, you know, my code ran and I could see like exactly what I wanted to see or what I was trying to do, that feeling is something like I loved that feeling. You know, I made that happen, and that's when I fell in love with programming. And I realized, okay, that's perfect. I'll do software engineering. And I think in grade 10, like that's when I decided, like that's when I knew that I would do software engineering as my career. And I haven't regretted it since then. Like it's been my one goal. So it's been a while, I guess, since I have like decided to do it. Yeah.
Did you, so you took, I'm guessing you definitely did Java in high school, right?
Yes.
So was there any like associated interest you had because of that? So I know in our grade 10 Java course, we had to do game development. We had to make a game as a final project.
Yep.
So did you like decide that you wanted to do game development, or were you still open to options?
I knew I did not want to do game development.
You didn't like the project?
No, I like the project, and I'm very proud of it still. Like I still remember what it is, but I personally never played video games like growing up. I never had an interest to, because I was always like outside. I'd rather like you know, go out and play, or, you know, go to the pool, or like, you know, I never played video games ever. So I guess I never wanted to create them. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right? So even when we had that project, like my mind did not go into like a video game type thing. I love board games and stuff like that. I kind of made my own game, like my own little world. But yeah, like I would never want to build video games. Like that's not my thing. I don't know much about it, to be honest, like that industry. So yeah, never had an interest in that.
So then, did you have any idea of what interests you had?
Specifically in software? Yeah, so when I decided to do software, and when I was like in first year, I kind of got interested in design a little bit. But it wasn't very serious. I kind of wanted to go with the flow and wanted to use like my co-ops as an opportunity to like explore. And that's kind of like what happened. Like I just went with the flow and kind of ended up where I did. But I mean, design always like intrigued me. Like anywhere. Like I'm a very colorful person, and so I don't know. It just really like that's the part where I always took notice in when I was developing. I wanted to make it look good. But yeah, I guess that could be a side. But I was interested in so many things. Like that my mind is like all over the place in a good way, because I'm like interested in anything and everything as like long as I'm exposed to it. So my goal going into university, like when I was in first year, was like, I told my parents, I had a conversation with them because they asked me the same question, like, do you know, because it's a very broad field, do you know what exactly you want to do? And I was like, have no idea, but I have 5 co-ops, so I'll figure it out, you know? And that's what I feel like university is about. So yeah. if you haven't like decided like what your interest is or what specifically you want to work in, that's okay. Like you have 4.5, like 5 years to figure it out, you know? Yeah.